Right. All right. So day 2, session 5. This session is again quite interesting, protecting intellectual property, right? What is the importance of it, and what is its reference to the in the startup world, right? We have a very prominent expert in our room currently who will speak on this, right? Mr. Vivek Singh. He's the head of IP prosecution practice, India at Sagacious IP. I would quickly invite him and would hand over this session to take the side with these startups. Over to you, Vivek sir.
Thank you, Amrit. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. So hi. So first of all, I would like to thank you, Lemon Ideas, for inviting me to take this session. And hello and good evening, everyone. I think to make it interactive, I request everyone to please come on the video. In the virtual setup, it's very important to see each other. And IP is a bit technical subject. So I'll try to make it interactive, interesting also. And for that, I would like to see you. So please come on.
Sorry to interrupt, Vivek sir. Your voice is getting low.
Is it better now?
No, you're not audible. We cannot hear you.
Maybe you can come a bit closer and speak like you were speaking before.
Is it better now?
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. It's perfect or it's okay?
It's okay.
Okay, let me try another microphone. Maybe that will be better. Is it better?
Yeah, now it's
Okay. Okay, so I have 4 microphones. So I think system got confused like which one to select. All right, so I can see Deepak ji, I can see Vikram, I can see Amritya, I can see Chandra, I can see Ungli, I can see Pratima, Dr. Samantha, I can see now, I can see Varun Kode also. All right, so let me give a brief background about myself. So like Amritya has said, I am an IP lawyer and I have been an entrepreneur also from the healthcare space. So I was running a startup few years back, and that was into marketplace for medicines. After running it for 6-7 months, that was acquired by 1mg. I hope everyone is aware about 1mg. So don't consider me as an IP lawyer, which I am, like I am IP lawyer, but on the other side, I understand so I belong to your community of founders, of business owners. So I can correlate this IP subject from that perspective to you. And my commitment to you is that in next 1 hour, I will make this subject very, very interesting. So if you will be with me for next 1.5 hours, I can commit that you will understand all the aspects of IP and you will be able to use it in your daily life. That's my commitment. But to meet that commitment of mine, you need to give me 3 commitments. Number 1 is please be on the video. Number 2, please do the active listening. So one is listening and the other one is active listening. And there is a great difference between listening and active listening. Listening is just whatever I will say, you will just listen to it. The active listening is whatever I will convey, I will say, you will think about that. In between, I'll put few questions. Try to answer these questions. It's correct or incorrect, doesn't matter, because you will be able to think about that. And when I will tell you the correct answer, you will be able to absorb that knowledge. And the third and the most important commitment is that just put your phones in the silent mode for next half an hour. Nothing is going to change if you'll not use it for next 1.5 hours. But if we'll lose out on this IP thing, that will be a loss. So can I consider that you all are making these 3 commitments to me? Just type in the chat box, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect, perfect. So let's first try to understand like what is the background. So I understand that most of you are from the pharma, healthcare, and life sciences sort of startups. Is that correct? Can you just raise your virtual hands, like who all are from the pharma or life sciences related or medical devices related startups? Okay. ICT or computer related startups? Okay. Okay, there are many. Okay. So I have to cover all the aspects. Okay. And how many of you have some idea about IP rights or have filed at least 1 or 2 deal with all the sectors? Okay, okay, Sujata ji, no problem. I'll cover all the aspects. Need not to worry. So, how many of you have at least some idea about IP rights, or maybe you have filed 1 or 2 applications, patent, trademark, or design? Just raise the virtual hand. I can see Vibhuti's hand, Vikram's hand. Okay. What I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to understand so that I can modulate my discussion according to that level. Tetrel also, Chandraji also. Okay, so I understand that some of you have fair idea about this overall IP regime. Wonderful. So let me first in 1 or 2 minutes tell you where India is now as on date in terms of the IP regime, just to give you the context of this overall IP regime. So if you have noticed, just yesterday, Piyush Goyal ji has made a statement that the patent regime of India is going to be changed very, very soon. Before, so this is today's news, Piyush Goyal ji, who is the Commerce Minister. Just 2 weeks back, Mr. Modi, in his Mann Ki Baat, quoted about IP rights. So these days, every other day, even the topmost authority, Prime Minister, other ministers, are talking about IP rights. Why so? Because this, should I use a bit of Hindi if everyone is comfortable? Anyone who is not
Yeah. Comfortable
I
for
think
both the language, but
Vivek, we
Okay.
have few participants from outside India as well, so probably they may not
Okay.
understand Hindi.
All right. So what I will do, I will use a bit of Hindi, but I will translate that section immediately.
That's fine. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
So time आज की date में every other minister is talking about IP rights. Why so? Because after this COVID, India in next 5 years is going to be the investment destination for sure. And it has started happening. The Make in India, Startup India, there are multiple initiatives which are running at its full swing. And that's why the investments are coming to India. Companies are investing in India. And if someone is putting the money, startups are coming every other day, good startups are coming every other day. And if there is not a good IP regime, then there is no point. So IP would be the game changer. And that's why the Prime Minister and other ministers are talking about. That's one aspect. Now, where India is as on date in terms of the IP regime, Just 5 years back, it used to take 6 years to get a patent granted. 6 years. 6 साल लगते थे एक patent को grant होने में, even more than that. Any idea how quickly one patent has got grant in just last 1 year? The shortest period of time now in which a patent is granted.
7 to 8 months.
7 to 8 months. Okay. Any other like more guess?
18 months max.
18 months. Okay. Okay. When I'll tell you the number, the days, you'll be surprised that India has progressed so well. It's just 75 days. Can you imagine? In India, recently, the fastest patent which got the grant is just 75 days. And this fact is mentioned in the DPIIT website itself. It's fastest in the world. Can you imagine? You file the patent, even in US, even in Europe or any other country, it will take 2-3 weeks. 2-3 years. In India, the patent which is granted in the fastest way is just 75 days. Trademarks are being granted in just 5-6 months. So in my practice, on a daily basis, I'm sharing the certificates with the clients. Trademark 5-6 months, patents in a general routine 7-8 months. So this has become so fast. So India is at par with many developed countries in terms of the IP regime. So that's the point number 2. So I have given you the context like where India was 5 years back and where India is. Now let's talk about what IP is actually. So in next 10-15 minutes, so I'll divide this section in this way. I have time till it's 1.5 hour session if I am correct, right, Amritaji? From 5 to 6:30.
So it is 5 to 6 actually.
5 to 6. Okay. All right. And 15 minutes are already passed. So I have 45 minutes in hand. So in next 15 minutes, I'll give some very, very fundamental things about IP. And then we will talk about what are the commercials, how to get these done, what you should do, what you should not. And then for around 15-20 minutes, you'll have Q&A. So quickly, let's talk about what IP is. So you all have got the context, like where India is broadly in IP. Any questions regarding that aspect? No. Okay. So quickly, there are 4 types of IP rights which are important. There are 2 more which are not so much important for industry. Can anyone tell about the 6 types of IP rights?
I think process,
You can
art,
ask. Okay.
process, art, and
Patents,
methodology.
copyrights, trademarks, geographical indicators.
Right. Correct. So, like I said, there are primarily 6 types of IP rights: geographical indications, trade secrets, which we'll not talk about in detail. The other 4 remaining are patent, trademark, design, copyright. There are 2 more: integrated circuits layout, ICs you call it, and the plant varieties. So total 8 types of IP rights are there: layout of integrated circuits, plant varieties, geographical indications, trade secret, patent, trademark, design, and copyrights. 8 types of IP rights. Geographical indications, let's just talk about quickly 1 or 2 examples. Any idea about, or anyone can give the examples of the geographical indications? 1 or 2 examples.
Of food, which was very much famous, was Rasgulla.
Basmati rice.
Basmati rice, correct.
It's a product very specific to a geographical location, and which is why it's given its due importance. So like basmati
Right.
rice grown in a very specific area, like you have vines in specific areas which are kind of
Correct, correct.
matured in that particular temperature environment, all that. So a scotch is
Right.
scotch only in Scotch. You cannot make a scotch in India.
Darjeeling tea
Absolutely
is
correct.
another example.
Another example. So let me give you one line. Yes,
Saffron
yes.
and Kadaknath.
Kadaknath chicken, correct.
Yep, chicken.
From Jhabua district, Madhya Pradesh. So,
And saffron from Kashmir.
Like, correct.
Kalamasi.
Good. Yeah. Kalamasi, Nagpur orange, Alfonso mango. 350 products which are known as geographical indications, registered as geographical indications in India as of now. If you want to get that list, just type in the Google list of GI products from India. You will get that list, around 350 products as on date, which are registered as geographical indications. And as the name is suggesting, geographical means a particular geography. Indication means any product which is indicating that geography. For example, Darjeeling tea. The tea which is grown in the certain hilly areas of Darjeeling, only that particular tea will be called as Darjeeling tea. Correct? Nagpur orange, a unique variety of oranges coming from Nagpur will be called as Darjeeling tea. Nagpur orange. Kolhapur chappal. Kolhapur is a place. So slippers which are manufactured there will be called as Kolhapur chappal. So all these products are representing a Tirupati laddu, another example. So all these products are representing a geography, and that's why these are called as geographic. Very interesting area, but for now it's enough. Trade secrets, another very important aspects of IP right. So any idea about or any examples of trade secrets?
Coca-Cola formula.
Pepsi.
Coca-Cola formula, okay. Pepsi formula, okay.
C, McD.
Okay. Trade secret, let me give you a very simple definition, because if you are in business, so there are a lot of secrets which you have to keep secret because you cannot disclose that. And any secret which has some trade value, which has some commercial value, will be called as or known as the trade secrets. Very simple. Formula of Coca-Cola, recipe of KFC, the composition of Ruafza are some of the very well-known trade secrets. There are many. The one-liner definition is, if you have any composition, if you have any product, process, business method, or anything which cannot be decoded by doing the reverse engineering, is a good candidate for being kept as trade secret. Very simple definition. Any composition, any process, any formula which cannot be decoded by doing the reverse engineering is a good candidate to be kept as a trade secret. Very simple definition. That's the simple concept of trade secret. Let's keep all these two IP rights aside. And now let's talk about the remaining four, which you are dealing with in a day-to-day life: patent, trademark, design, and copyrights. And let me give you a very simple example wherein you will be able to decode this thing, like which IP right you should go for. I think a lot of people have gone off video. I will again request everyone to please come on the video. See, this is the knowledge transmission is happening, and without seeing each other, knowledge transmission wouldn't happen. And that's why I'm insisting everyone to please be on the video. All right, so let's talk about patent, trademark, design, and copyright. And let's take the example of smartphone. So this smartphone, any idea about how many IP rights I am holding in my hand by holding this smartphone? How many IP rights I am holding? 10, 20, 100, 200, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, hundreds, okay. $1,000 plus, okay.
It should be a big number.
Okay. So let me tell you the fact, a smartphone is covered by more than 10,000 patents or applications, more than 10,000. So if you are holding an Android phone or iPhone, be proud of holding more than 10,000 patents or applications in your hand. It is covered by 1,000, or I will say 5,000 plus design rights. At least 100 plus brand names, and at least 2,000 plus copyrights. And all these IP rights, patent, trademark, design, and copyright, all these IP rights are present in this smartphone. How? So when the company which has developed this smartphone, they have invested a lot of time, efforts, and money, right? And for that investment, so no one is doing like these R&D activities for charity. They want the return. And that's why the functionality which they have developed, which is running this smartphone, is to be protected. Otherwise, everyone else will copy that invention and launch their own product. And that's why there is the patent law, and the company which has developed the functionality of this, which is running, or there are thousands of functionalities which are running this smartphone. So to protect these functionalities, they have to file patent applications. Always remember, if you have developed a machine, if you have developed a medicine, composition, if you have developed a unique medical device, or if you have developed any software which is improving the functionality of any hardware, what you have to do? You have to file patent applications. And don't be surprised, even the large companies, forget about the startups, the large companies sometimes get confused, like they have to go for patent or they should go for design filing. Functionalities are always protected by filing a patent application. Very simple. And if I have given a very unique shape to this machine, for example, if you have developed a medical device, inhaler, and the unique shape of that inhaler is very important, then you need not to file the patent application if only the shape you have changed to make it appealing, to make it more aesthetic, and there is no functionality attached to it. What you can do, you can file design application. Very simple. Need not to file the patent application. So, for example, this is the data card. Let me take another example. For example, this pen. The shape of this pen, the company which has developed this pen has given the cap, its cap, a very unique shape. So this shape is not serving any purpose, but it is giving a unique appearance to this pen. That person is only required to file design application. Very, very economical, just 5,000-10,000 you have to spend and your design will be registered. And design, let me give you the example. A company, our client, developed a very unique helmet shape. a very unique appearance helmet. They got the design registered for that, and because of that, they are now able to stop many other companies which are coming up with the same design, helmet of the same designs. Just by spending 5, 10, 15,000, they are now having the monopoly over that shape. That is the benefit of design protection. So we have covered two things: the functionality. If you have developed, which IP application you have to file. I need answers so that I will be sure that whatever I'm saying, it is being conveyed to you.
Patents.
Patent. Perfect. All right. And if I have given a very unique shape to that machine, then
Design.
design.
So
Right.
if I have,
Now,
if my
just hold
functionality is
on.
related,
Just hold on. Just hold on, Omurji. I'll get back to you. I'll answer you. Now, I have given a very unique name to my machine. मैंने उसका नामकरण कर दिया. When a baby is born, उसका नामकरण होता है. वैसे if you have invented a machine, you have given it a very unique shape. Now the time has come to give it a name. And you have given a very unique name to your machine. You have to file trademark application. How to give your machine a unique name? I have a very, very important slide. I will talk about. And by having that clarity, you will never choose a name, a brand name, which is not able to get the registration from the trademark office. In just 15 minutes, I'll give that distinction to you. You have given your machine a very unique name. Which IP application you have to file? Trademark. Now, in this smartphone, there are a lot of softwares involved. Softwares, and I'm talking about the source code or object code of the software only. If that software is solving or improving the hardware functionality, that is a matter of patent. But the code per se, the software which you have developed, the code you have written, the animation which are being used in a phone, the music which is used in a phone, movie animation which are being used in a phone, right? All these things are matter of copyright protection. Very simple. So if you have developed a software and you want to protect the unique code you have written, it's very simple. You just file the copyright application. If you have developed any animation, it's very simple. You just file the copyright application. So these are the parameters which are deciding like which IP application you should file. So never get confused. And I think when now you will be able to look back and see what invention you have done or what unique IP you have generated in your startup. Identify that and accordingly file the IP application. Correct? So we have covered this distinction, and the patent law is based on the principle of barter. I have to give this important distinction. जब भी कोई law बनता है, so every law has a rationale behind it. So patent law ka background or the context is the barter system. You understand this term barter? What do you mean by barter? Can anyone explain?
Exchange of something in exchange of something.
yeah.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Barter system is a simple concept wherein you get something by giving something. Patent law is based upon this barter system. So when there was no patent law, what used to happen? People were inventing like any innovative thing, and they were keeping that thing in their mind. And once they die, that invention goes away with them. And that's why government at that point of time, I think it was US, decided to have a system wherein someone who has invented something get rewarded for that. And that's why they introduced this patent law, wherein the inventor or the person who has invented something is getting the monopoly for 20 years. This is what he is getting. And because he is getting, he has to disclose something. What he is disclosing or giving? The invention itself. So when you write or draft a patent application to be filed at patent office, you have to disclose your invention properly. So this is what the inventor has to give. So give is to disclose your invention. Take is to get the monopoly for 20 years. Correct? And that's why it's very important to draft and file good quality patent applications. Why so? Because if you have drafted and filed a bad quality patent application, what will happen? You have disclosed your invention in that poorly drafted application. So what you are supposed to give, you have given. Now the time will come to take back of the 20 years monopoly. And when that time will come, patent office will deny that because your application is not properly drafted as per the laws, as per the rules, and that's why it is not granted. What will happen? Whatever you were supposed to give is out of your hand, that cannot be taken back. But what you are supposed to get, you will not get that. So be very, very careful when you are filing patent applications. Always file good quality patent applications. Otherwise, don't file. It's better to not to file poorly drafted applications rather than you got this concept of barter system. Correct. Now in one line, let me tell you the rationale which is behind the trademark law. Any question which is related to this concept of barter for patents?
Sir, sorry for digressing, but I would also need a bit of understanding on the plant breeders thing also. If you can cover it later. Does that also happen in plant breeding thing also, the same barter thing? If we are saying that we are
No. Yes. For all the applications, for plant varieties, it's same thing because that farmer has invested something, developed something, and that's why he should get the monopoly. So the concept is same there also. Now coming to the trademark law. Trademark law is entirely different concept, and trademark law is introduced for one single reason, and that is to differentiate the products or services of one person with rest of others. To differentiate the products or services of one person from rest of the others. Now let's try to decode this. All of you are more interested in talking or discussing more about the patents or trademarks?
Both, sir.
Both. Okay. So trademark is there, law is there to differentiate the products or services of one person with the rest of the others. How? Just imagine a situation. There is no patent trademark law, and let's say your favorite soap is Dove, which claims to make your skin soft, supple, or maybe fairer also. And you like this soap, using this soap Dove, or maybe Pierce. And because there is no trademark law, so there is no name for that soap. What you will do, or how you will ask a shopkeeper to give you your favorite soap if the name Dove would not have been there? You will go in the market, you will ask that shopkeeper, give me a soap which is white in color, which has a very unique shape. By using that, my skin will be soft, I will be looking younger. How you will define? Is it possible to define? Same is with peers. You will go in the market, you will say, give me a soap which is transparent a bit, which is yellowish in color, it has glycerine. And what that person will do, he will give you a soap which is not being manufactured by the manufacturers of peers. Another brand which is giving him 50% margin, he will give you that soap and you will be happily using that. And what will happen, you can imagine. And that's why this trademark law is there to differentiate. The manufacturers of peer soap have given their product a unique name, peers. If there is any meaning of peers in the dictionary, if there is any meaning of Kodak, I am giving you the rationale of entire trademark law. If there is any meaning of Samsung, if there is any meaning of Havels, if there is any meaning of, take another brand name, Lenovo,
Apple.
Apple, I'll talk about Apple. Apple has a meaning. I'll talk about that. Let's take a few more examples. What is the meaning of Airtel? This dongle is of Airtel. If there is any dictionary meaning of Airtel, if you will enter this name in any dictionary, if the meaning will come, or that dictionary will give you the meaning of all the names which I have just taken. So just look around yourself and see how many trademarks you are surrounded by, and you will be surprised all the brand names which are good brand names don't have any dictionary meaning. Either it's Havels, either it's Coca-Cola, either it's Ruaza, any brand name, and you'll be surprised. Now try to look, go back after this session, identify like which brands you are wearing in your body as of now, which brands are in your office, which brands are present in your home, in roadside like banners or anything. You'll be surprised 90% brands which are actually the good brands don't have any dictionary. Now coming to the second category of marks. Apple, for example, someone said the name Apple. So now let me give you this distinction of selecting good brand names which are being registered. You will not get the rejections from the trademark office. But in order to do that, I want everyone again to be on the video. My screen is visible?
Yes.
Yes.
And let me promise you, like in next 5 minutes, you will be able to differentiate between the good brand names and the bad brand names. But please come on the video, only then I'll be able to give that important distinction. All right, so to understand the types of brand names, or which are good, which are bad, what we have done in this slide, we have differentiated the trademarks or brand names into 5 categories. The topmost brand and the lowest brand names. Topmost brand names are called as fanciful and coined words. Second grade marks are called as arbitrary marks. Third level marks are called as, trademarks are called as suggestive marks. Other lower to that are called as descriptive marks, and below to that are the generic terms. Highest are fanciful and coined words. Fanciful and coined words in layman terms means which words don't have any dictionary meaning. We have already discussed that. For example, Kodak, no dictionary meaning. Google, no dictionary meaning. Correct? So simple message here is, if you are a startup and you are in the process of giving a unique name to your startup, to your brand, identify a name, and there are ways to develop or select the unique names. It can be a permutation or combination of the founders. It can be the combination of the name of the founder plus the services which are being, or the products which are being offered, or the name of your friends, colleagues, family, spouse, a permutation or combination of any of these, right? But whatever you do, but choose a brand name which does not have a dictionary meaning. Very simple. Now the second grade, and once you have identified such name, the journey is not completed. Then you need to identify a trademark lawyer like me or any other. You go to that person and request that, see, I have incepted this brand name for my startup. What is your opinion? That trademark lawyer will do a trademark search for you. So there are 45 classes in which the trademarks are being filed as per the products or services you are offering under that name. So that person, that lawyer, will do the searches, will tell you that this is a good name and you can go for it. Then you file the application. Chances are that within 6-7 months you get the registration, and by having that name registered means no other person in India can use that trademark. You will have that monopoly. In entire India, no one else can use that name to offer the same product or services. And the expenditure is very, very nominal. To get a trademark registered, the overall cost, including the government fee, including the lawyer fee, is just less than 10,000. By spending just less than 10,000, if you are getting this monopoly, wherein that name is just allotted to you and no one can use that name, is what you are getting in return. Now, let's take the other grade of marks, for example, the arbitrary marks. Apple. You will say that Apple has a name. Yes, there is the meaning of this name. It's a fruit, well-known fruit. Dove. Dove is the name of a bird, right? So how these are registered and why these are the brand names which are very, very unique? Apple, under this name, what they are selling? They are selling computers. They are selling phones. They are selling electronic devices. If there is any connection between the apple fruit and these electronic devices, don't say that by using the apple, the person will get smarter, he will get healthier, and that's why he will be able to use the more phones or computers in a better way. Right? So any connection between apple as a fruit and the electronic products they are selling. So the clue here is, in case you are selecting a name for your startup, then the products or services which you will be selling under that name should not have any correlation with the name. You are getting this idea. But that will be a bit complex scenario. We recommend that being a startup, there is always a cash crunch. You don't want to spend in the IP rights a lot. Always go for the first grade marks, fanciful and coined marks, because the chances of registrations will be very, very high. The lower you will go, the chances of registrations will be very, very low. Plus, you have to spend a lot in getting these registered. The attorneys will charge you a lot because there will be objections from the registry trademark office. Then the replies will be there. Then the hearing will be there. Delay will happen plus money will be spent. Always go for the fanciful and coin word selection. Third category marks are suggestive marks, which are suggesting the products or services which are being offered. For example, Airbus, a bus which is flying in the air, Airbus. Netflix, internet, movies. Flix means movies. So net means internet. So movies are being displayed over the internet. So these are the suggestive marks. Descriptive marks are like sugar free. Like the products or services are just being described by that name. Delivery. Very, very difficult to get these registered. Very, very difficult. Generic terms like Agrawal Sadi House, Mehta Sadi House, Bikaner Sweets, something like that, which are very generic terms. Never opt for such names. So we have covered this section of how to identify the good brand names. Any questions so far in this particular slide? No. Okay, perfect.
So one question I had. We talked
Yes.
about the names. What about the logo of that?
So there are two types of trademarks. One, word marks, and the second category is called as device marks. It's always better to go for the word mark protection. Having a word registered, for example, give me the example of the name which you are thinking of to register.
You mean the name of the startup?
Yes, Aerogens. Okay, Aerogens. It looks like a very unique name. So now there are two ways. Aerogens as a word can be filed as a trademark, or Aerogens written in a very unique way, like if you have created a logo for Aerogens, Aero written in green color, gens written in red color, in a very unique font, in a very unique shape, you can register that as well. But it is always recommended to go for the word mark registration. Why? Having a name registered per se is like having the registry of the land. If you have purchased a plot, you have got the registry of that plot. Now the first floor, second floor, third floor will automatically get registered. But if you have created a logo, unique, and you have registered that logo, it means you have got protection for that first floor, second floor, or third floor. If you will change your logo, if you will change the design of your logo, shape, color, or anything, then you have to again file the application. So it is always recommended to go for the word mark registration rather than going for the logo or design registration. In case the word is not registrable, right? There are like many words which are not being able to register. Only in that case you can go for the logo registration. The query is clear? Or should I elaborate more on?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, perfect. So one more point we should also talk about. So we have covered what IP is actually, who can generate or own IP, anyone can generate or own IP, types of IP rights we have covered. Now quickly let's talk about what are the benefits of registering the IP rights. फायदा क्या है IP rights को register कराने का?
Sir, I have one doubt. Sorry, I just remembered. I wanted to ask you. With the trademark thing, sir, you said the price, the costing of it is just like 10,000 rupees. And for startups, is there like a thing where you get like this subsidized rates, or is it like 10,000 only, or is it lower than that?
I'll come to that point. And even let's not forget about I will cover one very important point, and that is how to get your IP rights protected for free. right? I will cover that point. How to get the IP rights registered for free. So we have done the fundamental part. Why IP is important to register. We will cover that, and then we will talk about the commercials. We have covered the last important point, and that is how to select a great brand name for your startup. So in my post, or maybe the email which you have received from the Lemon Ideas by Amraji, that email might be that there were 5 points which were supposed to be covered. So we have covered 3 points, and we are left with 2 more points. And that is how you can get your IP rights protected for free. And then why it is important to register the IP rights. So any idea about what are the benefits of protecting the IP rights?
Sir, easy to raise capital because investors, and when they're looking at any kind of thing, especially when we are looking at pharma things, so it takes a lot of time to raise that to come to a product. So when you have an IP over a formulation or over the, or at least the what you call it, the EIP, the original IP, then you still have a more higher value proposition.
Correct. So to understand this important aspect, let's first talk about what are the benefits of registering your properties. So I guess like most of you might have purchased a house, maybe a car, maybe a bike, maybe. So there is a mandatory step of doing the registration for the property. It's mandatory almost. Then even if it's not mandatory, then also you will, if you will purchase a house, a flat of 3 crore rupees, and the day it will be registered in your name by the registry, only then you will be able to get a good night's sleep. If you have purchased a BMW, till the time it will not get the RC, after going to mandir or tika vika kara ke aap usko ghar mein hi rakhoge, you will not go to take that car out till the time you will get the RC. Why so?
Because it's illegal to without pay the road taxes or the registration tax and take it out on the roads.
Road taxes are a separate issue. I'm talking about the RC, registration certificate. Simple funda is, once the property is registered, so car, your bike, your car is also a type of property. There are movable properties, there are immovable properties, and this is a property which you are talking about is a virtual property, intellectual property, a virtual property which is created by using your intellect. It also has the same value. Even the fact is, these days companies have 10% assets or 20% of assets as the physical properties, and remaining 80-90% are their intellectual properties. And the time Meta or any company which you are talking about, 70 to 80% of their assets or their brand value or anything is covered by the intellectual property. Only 10 or 20% are just the physical properties. So क्यों उसको कराने का फायदा क्या है registered कराने का फायदा?
No other one can claim on the property.
Correct. So monopoly. So see, let's talk about the benefits. So if you are registering your property, there are benefits. Number one benefit, you get the proof of ownership by getting the registry certificate. You get the proof of ownership. Number one. Number two, you get the higher valuation. How? Let's say you are in the process of identifying a flat in a very posh location, and there are two flats, same size, 4,000 square feet, adjacent to each other. The owner of one is saying that I'll sell you for let's say 4 crore rupees. I have the registry in my name. The other one is saying I'll sell you just for 2.5 crore, but I don't have any registry. After selling, तुम जानो तुम्हारा काम जाने, मैं 2.5 crore लेके चला जाऊंगा. कौन सा खरीदोगे आप, 4 crore वाला या 2.5 crore वाला? You're getting the context. I'm not saying that is the illegal property. Maybe that is also a very, very valid property. कोई नहीं आएगा उसमें claim करने के लिए, but आप फिर भी नहीं खरीदोगे उसको. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर कल को कोई dispute हुआ, there is no authentication that it's registered or it's there is no dispute. You will always go for the fair one, even by paying premium. So higher valuation मिलती है आपको, मोनोपोली मिलती है आपको यूज करने की, और अगर आईपी राइट्स बहुत सारे हैं, आपकी प्रॉपर्टी है, तो बेटर रेपो मिल जाती है. ऑल दीज बेनिफिट्स आर अवेलेबल, और यू कैन से यू कैन मैप दीज बेनिफिट्स with intellectual property. If you have your unique property registered in your name, the same benefits you will be getting. So we have covered the benefits of registering the IP rights, and there are many other points, and I think it will take 2-3 hours to cover all the aspects, but there is a time limit. So I have covered all the 4 points which I have promised to cover. And now I think let's 5-10 minutes, we can have the Q&A session. But before that, I'm sharing a couple of links with you in the chat box, because I'm sure after this session, you will have a lot of queries.
Sir, cost effective way, how to get the patents for free, please cover that.
I will cover, but before that, I have shared 4 or 5 links. One is my LinkedIn profile link. The other one is the Academy of Patents profile link. The other one is Facebook link for the Academy of Patents. And the last one is the YouTube channel for the Academy of Patents. This is the portal from where you can get all your IP related information, and you can get connected with me on LinkedIn. So in case in future you have any query related to IP, please feel free to reach out to. So I'm done with my points. Now let's take the questions.
Thanks, Vikas sir. I would quickly moderate this, maybe the Q&A part. So quick questions. Please, I would like to avoid the discussions here, but quick questions. Arpit, please go ahead.
Sir, I noticed you mentioned it will be protected in India. So what about if I want to get it protected worldwide?
Okay. So first of all, as such, there is no global patent or global trademark or global design. If you have filed your application in India, you will get the protection in India only. But if you want to go for global, there is a way called PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty Application. By filing that application, you will get the time of around 30-31 months to decide upon the countries of interest. And if you will be filing in your name, so PCT filing fee is, the government fee is around 1.25 lakhs. But if you will be filing in your name, the fee will be just 10-12,000, right? So by filing the PCT application, you will get the global coverage, and after 30-31 months, you can file the corresponding application.
So does this apply for trademarks also?
No. For trademark, there is a separate process called as Madrid filing. In India, you have filed the Indian application, then within 6 months, you can file the Madrid application. And by selecting the countries of interest, you can protect your trademarks globally also.
Okay, sir, got it.
If time would have allowed, I would have loved to cover the PCT process, the Madrid process, but I think maybe next time, Amraji, we can have a 2-3 hour long session.
Vikram, maybe you can take the next.
Thanks, Amartya. Thank you so much, Vivek ji. I just wanted to ask you that, sir, what is the cost of doing a patent research? Like before I do a filing of patent, I would like to know that if my patent is really unique or not. So, sir, what is the cost of filing that? And sir, very quickly, just wanted to ask you, sir, because you asked about medical product development, and we are working on the place of cannabis-based biopharmaceuticals. The only one that is in the world which is US FDA approved is GW Pharma, and they have got multiple patents in multiple ratios of cannabinoids present. So, sir, when that comes to it, what they have also done is that they also own a patent on the strain from which they have extracted the active ingredients, and it is not just any cannabis plant. So, sir, is that because they have done it, can we do the same thing here in India? Is it possible for me as a company to follow the same path? So that's it, sir. Thank you.
Very good question, but very broad question. I think to answer this question, it will take 15-20 minutes. But quickly, let me cover. So your first point was that
Patent research. How much will it cost
patent
me?
research. Let me give you, Amrit, if you can allow me for 1 or 2 more minutes, I
Yeah,
wanted to give them a very, very gold mine concept of using the patent information to avoid the reinventing of the wheel scenario.
right. So actually, our next speaker is maybe waiting. So we will cover up in
Oh,
maybe
okay.
5 minutes if
Sure,
possible.
sure, sure. So, Vikram, uh, patent
Yes, sir.
information is very important. In case you have come up with any idea as the extension of your current business line or maybe as a new startup, one thing is that you can start pursuing that idea, or maybe 1, 2, or 3 years down the line, you will realize that someone else has already done that stuff and got failed or got successful. By having the patent research done in the beginning itself, you will come to know about all the patents which have been filed similar to your idea, and then you can read out the patent documents. It's a 30-page, 50-page document which is describing everything which that person has done. And by reading that, either you will come to know that that person has done something else, I am doing something else. Then it's a very good indicator that you are on the right track. Go and pursue your idea, file the patent application. And if you get something which is very, very same or similar to your concept, then also it's a gold mine because you have saved your time, efforts, and money. So patent research or prior art search is very, very important before pursuing any business idea.
Thank you, sir. How much will it cost me to do that?
Patent search will cost as less as 10,000 and maybe as high as 1 lakh rupee, depending upon the domain you are researching. There might be 100 patents which a patent attorney has to screen, or maybe he has to screen 10,000 patents or applications. So from that volume, the cost will vary as low as 10,000, as high as 1 lakh.
Yes,
But
sir.
even if you will be spending 1 lakh rupee, that will be of worth saving 10 or 20 or maybe 1 CR, 2 CR rupees of investment time also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Vikram, and I'm really sorry. Like I have to stop here. We have to move to the next session. Vivek sir, it was quite an interesting topic, and the thing is that this is one of the most interactive topic I've come across so far in these 2 days. So thanks for your time and answering these much queries for these startups. Maybe we will conduct another session. I guess there is a need for it. We will again reach out to you.
Anytime. Thank you, Amrit, for inviting me. And everyone, I have shared my LinkedIn details and my phone number. Everything is mentioned over there. In case you have any query, please feel free to reach out to me. For startups, we don't charge much. Even many of the activities we do for free. So then don't hesitate in contact.